I want you to turn to Exodus chapter 3. Starting in verse 1, I want to give you just a quick idea of this. This is about Moses. This is about the burning bush. This is about when God comes to Moses and he calls Moses. And I got thinking about how many times when God calls somebody, does he have to get them alone? How many times when God is really doing a new thing in our life or calling us, he has to give us almost a feeling of loneliness and aloneness to get us to the point where he can show up and we can just totally need him. And you know, the counterfeit of loneliness is isolation. The counterfeit of loneliness is isolation. Isolation is when I say, I don't need anybody, I don't need anyone, and we isolate from people, but at the same time, we're isolating from God, we're isolating from everybody, and we're pushing people away. And so I want you all to say a phrase with me today. Say, difficult to love. How many of you in this room at times can be difficult to love? Come on, tell the truth. And the other 40 of you need to raise your hand too. Come on. And if I have to get your spouse involved or your child. Listen, some of us all have a trigger in us where we start to get close to people and then we say, yeah, I want you to love me. I keep doing this position because I see people doing this. Oh yeah, I want you to love me. You're like, this is a mixed message. In the English language, we call that an oxymoron. I've emphasized the moron part of the oxy. But I want to challenge you that when you say, when we want to love people, we got to love people with open arms, not with a hand out like this. Does that make sense what I'm saying today? Because what I've noticed is just we live in a society where people are just really difficult to love. They've been hurt. They've been through things. Listen, I'm going to say this to you. And then when they're difficult to love, then we